What's happening, my friend? My name's David and welcome to my YouTube channel. And in this video, I have something very special for you, particularly if you're wanting to know what's happening in the world, in particular within Australia and also the west coast of Australia. So today we have a special guest. Her name's Janine and she has a YouTube channel, well, two YouTube channels actually, one called Tarot by Janine and the other one called Sending Ravens, which I'll leave links down below. And basically what we had was a discussion of around 30 minutes discussing what's happening in the country with the lockdowns. So I hope you enjoy the video. Only a few months ago, South Australia, which is the state next to mine, they had an outbreak and all of a sudden they went into lockdown for, it was supposed to be 5 days or 7 days. And after two or three, they cut it and that was it. So I don't know what happened there. It seemed a bit strange. And as most of things do with this whole thing. And then yesterday at about 11 a.m., our premier, he announced a 5-day lockdown because we had one case. And we've had cases in the state, you know, I don't watch the news and I see sometimes on, the news at the gym in the morning, I'm sure we've had cases in the state, like 15, 20 cases here and there. We've been pretty lucky, to be honest. We had our 2-month lockdown last year, as most of the world did, but nothing's happened since then. We've been able to go pretty much wherever we want. We can't travel interstate unless it's for business and stuff. So actually that's not true. They just opened the borders only recently, like, a month ago. But the funny thing was when they did that, they had an outbreak again in one of the states and they shut them again. So basically we're on lockdown now, and this is the first time masks have been mandated. And so the first thing I looked at when I looked out my window this morning was 2 people walking by with masks, and I felt this strange feeling inside of me because to be honest, nobody really wears masks here. I've seen more people wear masks in the last half hour than I have the entire 12 months prior. So
wow.
So
they must be hyping the fear. Are they hyping up the fear on the mainstream media?
Yeah, absolutely. I did catch the news last night just after lockdown started, and testing places have been set up, and as you'd imagine, that there's lines. If it was a club, there'd be lines out the door. It's crazy, and like people have got masks on.
Can you imagine? Like, why bother getting a test if you have no illness? Like, what on earth are they thinking?
Well, the funny thing about that is, well, yeah, of course, they're not thinking straight. But the funny thing about that is one of the other states, Queensland, only a few months ago, not even a few weeks ago, in fact, they had an outbreak too. And the premier of that state locked everybody down for 5 days, pretty much similar to what's happened now, actually, when I think about it. And she said, get tested, even if you've got no mild symptoms or nothing at all, get tested. Turns out, and I've looked at a few websites, and this has been going around in the truth community. Turns out her dad, who's an ex-politician, is the director of a DNA collection company connected to China or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
that's suspicious.
After that 5 days was over, nothing happened. They're not on lockdown anymore. I don't think that information went around, and I'd heard it only about a week before. It's crazy. And just when you think about that and all the other stuff that about the transgender agenda and different celebrities that very well could have been raised as the opposite sex from what they were born as. It really just goes to show, and everything falls into place, just how calculated this whole thing is. It's like everybody's in place for a reason, and also our prime minister, similar kind of thing. He issued the no jab, no play rule, which is no vaccination, you can't go to school, pretty much. And now,
my goodness.
And now he's just said no jab, no pay. And
my goodness.
And we had a Freedom Day in September last year, and I went to that, and one of the people that was speaking said, apparently this guy has connection to Johnson & Johnson, and that's how he got in. to power. I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe we can look at that and maybe look at what's going on in Perth, and if that case is even real, because it was just one case, and as you know, the testing's pretty dodgy, so who knows if it's really a real case at all.
Yeah, I can't wait till the truth comes out about how many actual people died this year compared to other years, because I'm hearing that it was a mediocre to less than usual year. And that's of everything, like never mind what they died of, right? Because we know they lumped on all the flu cases, at least this is what we're thinking. In North America, for sure, they lumped on flu cases because all of a sudden the regular flu ceases to exist. They're basically saying flu doesn't exist anymore. How is that even possible? So it's been replaced by this other thing? Give me a break.
It's so funny. And people just, I don't understand why people, it's like they have a short circuit, you know?
Yeah.
Like they go, oh, well, the reason that it was another thing. It was something so stupid. It was like, social distancing is the reason for no tuberculosis or something, or some other thing. I was like, you don't even catch that, like in a traditional sense for people, you know, it doesn't make sense that would be the cause or the reason why you've got a lower number of deaths in that area. It's almost as stupid as saying, you know, there are less car deaths because of social distancing or something, you know.
Exactly. Well, apparently you don't catch viruses that way either. They don't spread the way it's been presented that it's like everybody forgot their biology, you know, their biology 10 or whatever, whenever you learn about viruses. I mean, apparently they don't spread the way, you know, they're insinuating they do, wearing masks and social distancing. That's not how they spread. So it's like, come on, you guys, like get the, like you're talking about science backing things up. They got no science to back this whole thing up.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I think that it just goes to show how easily manipulated people are. And just at the supermarket yesterday, I didn't go, but I heard some stories and I saw some news shots. Just panic buying everywhere because we're going into this 5 day. You can still go to the supermarket. You can't not go, you know, so there's no need to even stock up. I mean, I actually stocked up a long time ago because of the food shortages I thought were coming in, so I'm fine. But even if I wanted to go today, I could still go. You know, there's nothing stopping me going to the supermarket, and it's going to be over it may be over in 5 days. My guess is that with all this testing blitz, maybe they'll lock us down for longer because now they've got a spike in cases.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah, that'll be another question we'll have to ask. Awesome.
Yeah. So what would you like to look at first then?
Yeah, I think we should look at, is there actually a case and what was the real reason for the 5 day lockdown? Because it may be, that could even be false, right?
Well, actually, the funny thing was that when I heard about this thing, because Charlie Ward's been talking about a worldwide lockdown since about Christmas, and it didn't happen in December, and he spoke about it last week. So I thought, hey, maybe this is the worldwide lockdown that he's been talking about, because, and you know, and maybe we're all kept safe, because I have a friend in Canada, and she said that Trudeau's locked down the entire country. Is that correct?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, and things got really weird here just 2 days ago in Calgary. All of a sudden, we're hearing stories. This might have been going on for a while, but we're just hearing about it, where they're taking people out of the airport and locking them in hotels and they don't even let them contact their family members. Like they don't even contact the family members to tell them. So unless they got a phone on them, which most people do, I realize, but it's like they're like against their will locked in a hotel, and it's on their dime. Like, how is that even
$2,000 I heard.
How is that even legal?
Same thing
makes
happened
no
here.
sense.
Same thing happened here. You have to pay for it, and there was a woman who was a stowaway on a truck because she didn't have the money to pay for the thing, and she got caught, and I don't know, apparently she was going to go to prison. I don't know if she did in the end, but she definitely probably went to court for it. And I was just like, and the weird thing is that people go, oh, that's totally justified. She skipped the quarantine, and then like it's madness. It's absolute madness that people just,
it's total madness.
Completely agree with the government that's in place. Yeah.
I kind of skip all the stuff. Like I'm kind of funny. I live under the radar, as I just don't. I only wear a mask to the grocery store, and then the minute I'm finished what I had to do, I take it off. I don't care. On the way out, I take it off. I put it on the way going in. It's like I'm just definitely not wearing it out in the fresh air. That's just ridiculous. You know, I just ignore, and I never watch mainstream media. So to be honest, I'm just hearing through the grapevine and through my viewers that, yeah, it's been really bad in Canada lately. Yeah. So let's start with just look all around what's going on in your neck of the woods. Okay. Right, because that's really what I really wanted to make my readings available to different places in the world. So I'm so glad you brought me on.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming on.
Oh yeah, it's easier if I have somebody hosting who knows the area and knows what to ask me, because I don't want to, I don't know what to ask to help everybody there, right? I wouldn't know what to ask. So this is great. So let's just have a look at the 5-day. We'll just look around that to see what we get.
Okay.
Well, they're doing something in secret. I don't know if you can see this. The lights are pretty bright here. Hang on.
I can't see it just yet.
I'm going to turn this. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. Is it the moon?
So that's the moon card.
Yeah.
Right. And that means there's hidden things going on, hidden agendas. So the real reason they're doing it has nothing to do with the illness itself.
Okay.
They've got a whole nother agenda. They're trying to buy time. So temperance. So they need a couple of, it'll probably get extended. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking 2 weeks. Let's hope that's not true.
An extra
but they're trying to buy time.
2 weeks total.
It looks like it might get extended for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But they're just trying to buy time because they're tidying something up that they've been working on in secret. So what we got to ask now is, who's they?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was thinking, because there are so many, it's easy for, let's say the white hats to hijack a black hat lockdown, and vice versa, probably, so who knows really what's going on.
Okay, let's have a look if we got good guys kind of behind this or not good guys. I mean, I know that's simplifying it, but that's the best way to approach it, I think.
Sure.
Are they on the side of humans having a good life, or the other side? Right?
Yeah.
Death card. And so something's been dying a really long, slow death. Oh, it's the good guys. Okay, these are the good guys. Okay. I think good. Charlie Ward's thing is right. I think we got the good guy. They're finished. They're tidying something up, and they needed a little more time in your area. Okay. So whatever areas are being targeted, probably they're got really specialized things. They've got a real special task they're going in, and it might take up to 2 weeks, it looks like. Yeah, and it'll be to the advantage of you.
Okay. It's interesting because Gene Decode said he did a DUMS decode of all of Australian DUMS, and in my state there was 1 or maybe 2, and quite far north. I'm in the south, so what happened was they locked down my city and then surrounding areas and nothing else. So, but they never locked us down. Obviously I wouldn't know if any operations are going on anyway, but it's interesting that you say that there's some kind of operations going on when we haven't been locked down before.
It feels like it has something to do with some people they're targeting.
Okay.
It's got specific people, and I get a really powerful woman and a really powerful guy. The woman is, I feel like she has ties to some kind of nobility or royalty. I don't know who I'm talking about. And the guy is some kind of a politician, very, I want to call him flamboyant, whatever I mean by that. So really, really outgoing and sort of in your face personality.
Okay.
Not a shy person, almost like brazen. Do you know what I mean by that? Really obnoxious. Let's call him obnoxious.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know
somebody
who that
may
is.
fit that. Somebody just came into power. I'm not going to say who it is, but somebody just came into power who is very well known in my city. So it could be him. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
okay.
I'm not well versed in politics until the last year. Now I know everyone in every country. Like,
yeah. Well, it's interesting because it doesn't look like it's about underground activity as much as it's about they're going in for some people.
Okay. It's interesting.
And that's what they suspect is happening in this quiet time that seems quiet. Seems like that's actually what they're doing. They're rounding up all over the world.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, and you know Jason Shirker, you follow him?
Yeah, so I follow him. Yeah.
He released that video last night about the update about DC. Have you seen that one?
I might not have seen his latest.
Yeah, it was only 2 minutes. If you go to his website, basically he was saying that TLS has been doing operations in DC, and if I remember correctly, it's going to be finished by March-ish, end of March or something like that. And yep, and it started in January.
Isn't that more about the underground tunneling?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or both, underground and not just underground, but also other operations too.
Okay. Yeah.
Which would kind of mirror exactly what you just said. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else should we look at?
Okay. So we know that there's an operation going on and it may be extended. How about, could we look at, I'd like to look at our Prime Minister if we could, because I've heard some stuff about him, and maybe what comes up in the cards, maybe I can confirm it afterwards.
Okay.
I mean, I've already just told you something, but there's something else that I'd like to look at too.
And where does the Prime Minister reside?
In Canberra.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does he come from a wealthy family?
I'm not sure. I don't have a lot of background info.
So that's a family card and there's wealth here. So I'm going to say he's somehow connected to a wealthy family.
Okay.
And there's a lot of secrets in his background. So he's probably not exactly presenting how he really is, which I don't think any politicians really do.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. And this card came up. So this was the card I got with the man that they were targeting. I wonder if it's him.
He doesn't, well, he's not in my state, but I mean, yeah. And I don't know what's
going. Is he close to that guy? Are they connected?
I'm sure they're all connected in some way, but as far as I know, no, I don't think so.
Okay, because somehow we got this card, so he might also be somebody they're looking at.
Well, quite possibly. He was on one of those lists a long time ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because we got this hidden stuff and murky. Like this card can be a good card, but it can also go really murky and have a lot of hidden secrets and stuff. We've got the strength card, but this guy has a lot of clout. It looks like. It's almost like he could be really high up if he's in the dark cult. If you don't, can I say that on your show?
Yeah.
Yeah. And can I say deep state?
You can say whatever you like. I mean,
good.
YouTube will be.
I'll call it those two.
Yeah.
Okay, so those two we've been getting away with saying. So I feel like he has a lot of protection. So if there's anything really left of the deep state, he'll be one of the last to go down because he's highly protected. So he must be really,
state or by.
Yeah, by the deep state. So he's really, he must be valued to them. He may be from a blood family or something.
Okay, interesting.
With that card.
It's very difficult to tell.
And sometimes they hide their bloodline for that exact reason, right? So the 13 there's really 14 families that would make up what we're going to call the dark cult. because the L word's definitely not friendly on YouTube. And even the C word, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know about the L, but the C word I can imagine.
Yeah. So anyway, he's high up in it, and he's connected through bloodline.
Wow, it's interesting. I heard the same about the New Zealand Prime Minister, actually. I don't know, and these are things that you just hear. I don't, I don't know if they're true or not, but that's something that you hear.
Is the New Zealand Prime Minister a woman?
Yes.
But I think they were born a man.
I've heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I get. We got somebody who was transitioned sexually, but not by not their choice, more like as a child. So that's interesting.
Okay. Maybe could we look at if there's any truth to the Johnson & Johnson claims then? Okay.
And who's connected to the Johnson & Johnson?
Our Prime Minister, the guy that we just looked at.
Okay.
Well, apparently.
Okay, let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we got my cabal card. Sorry, there's that C word. Sure. There, I just said it. Yeah. Oops. Okay, so we'll say deep state card, dark cult card. We've got the judgment. So this card says in a really bad way connected. So not in a good way. Okay. Also, he owes them. Okay. So they funded him. So they own him. Yeah. They own him. Okay. So, and I would say Johnson & Johnson is a huge deep state company, like most big companies. Things are getting really, really, they're very nervous in that company area. These guys are going down, it looks like.
Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, them, and there's big things coming out about them.
And the rest of Big Pharma, things. Do you mean? Or?
Yeah, around that company in particular, but maybe their whole industry. Wow. Those guys are getting really targeted on the, like, maybe we don't see it yet, but we know that the white hats are definitely going after people like this.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is that over the last year, since I became aware of all this, because I was aware of the New World Order a long, long time ago, but I had no clue about anything else, no clue about really what happens and all the children and all the terrible things, no idea about that. But what I've become more aware of, and that you see on the news, because we've had one of the huge banks here, it got fined, I think it was like $1 billion or $1.3 billion for money laundering with connections to child sex trafficking or child pornography. I think it was sex trafficking. And then one other billionaire here, he owns a casino or multiple casinos, and this is all in the news. So this is not a secret or anything. He got investigated for similar kind of thing, money laundering so it's, in my opinion, it's just all connected. And we've had so many around the world. I've seen multiple pedophile rings being smashed and people being arrested, some even in my country. So it's in my state, I think one in my city too. So it's not a coincidence that it's all happened in the last 12 months. All this info is coming out and people are being arrested. And
I definitely got, while you were talking there, I pulled a few cards on that woman that was a man from birth.
Right.
We were just talking about. Okay, that person is likely already been, there's some kind of an indictment and they're called up to be judged. And that person may be replaced and somebody pretending to be them is put in front of the public. So I don't know how much you see that person on the news or whatever, but I got a feeling they're out of country and facing judgment for crimes against humanity.
Yeah, JCK did a video many, many months ago about the coded video about the place in Cuba, and
Yep. Yep.
And because it was encoded, but she talked about the person, that we just spoke about, and she said, yeah, she's capitulated. And
Yep.
I think maybe even helping the white hats at some point for some reason, because I think she's, well, that's what she said. I think she's helping him in some way.
She's been responsible for them rounding up 2 more people really important.
Right.
So it looks like she's trying to cut a deal or whatever.
Sure. That makes sense.
To maybe save her life or whatever.
Yeah, that's what JCK said.
Yeah, I would agree with her.
Yeah. It's so interesting seeing, that's how I got into you and the psychics, because it's only really happened over the last year. I was very much connected to I had a spiritual awakening a few years ago and only realized it in 2019, but I was still obviously kind of very stuck on I needed the hard evidence,
Yeah.
And then being aware of you and JCK and a few other psychics kind of opened me up to a lot more, a different way of viewing things. And it's really good to get that confirmation from different people and different sources.
So I think it might be a good idea to look just all around Australia and just see how cleaned up is it? Like what percentage, are you guys also on your way over to the good side of things? Like I saw the UK was.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that even South Africa, even though it looks really dreary, they're actually going to really get their place all cleaned up. Things are actually happening there. Do you want to just have a look all around Australia and just see where you're sitting on the scale of white hats versus dark, black hats?
That would be great. Yeah. And then maybe after that, we can look at the premier of my state and see what his connections are to anything, if at all.
Okay. Yeah, because so many rumors about China owning Australia. But don't forget, China, the Communist Chinese Party is actually fallen apart.
Yeah.
You just heard that, right? And that's really come out, like several intels have dropped that one. And apparently it happened maybe a month or so ago, but we're just hearing about it. And we won't officially hear about it for another month, they're saying. But that's the rumor rumbling around.
Yeah, well, Charlie Watt's been talking about that for a long time. A long time.
He gets stuff way before anybody else. Yeah, Charlie Ward's everything. I don't care what anyone says. That guy's right on.
Yeah. He's so calm and collected because he seems to know everything way before it happens. And timing. You can never get timing perfect. I mean, it's impossible.
But, no, of course not.
But I'm kind of the mind. As long as it's happening and I can see things here and there, the timing. Yes, I would like it to happen sooner rather than later. But as long as I can see progress, that's what's most important.
Yeah. So they're still trying to get some really big figures. There's a woman in the background ratting these guys out.
Right. Okay. Could be the woman we just spoke about.
In the know. It might be the person we spoke about because the person goes with the dual sexuality card.
Interesting.
So I'm thinking it's her.
Well, they're looking at some of the people that are in the health, the people that are on TV. I think a few of them actually could be in that position. So I don't know if it's
true.
That. Yeah.
It's a huge practice, and we didn't even notice. Oh, my kitty's here to say hi. This is Turtle. If you see a cat's head. Okay, so they're very close to having this as good as the UK, it looks like.
Okay.
In fact, I would even say that there's a tail. I would even say that the white hats are basically on some level in the background in charge of what's going on. And a lot of the things that'll happen are actually orchestrated by them for whatever reason.
Sure.
They're just not admitting it. So a lot of the things that look like the bad actors are pulling some nasty things on you guys. It's actually the good guys, either trying to out the bad guys so everybody knows, right? This is the theory, is that they're making sure everybody knows what these guys really had planned for humanity. So people don't get upset when they hear they're having these tribunals and they're actually trying them very harshly. So we understand why that has to be. This is what they're saying. And this is what it looks like. Your country looks like it's under the sort of, I feel like it's being ruled by the White Hats gang.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a facade. A lot of the things going on are a facade. So these guys have to play along.
Yeah, and I'm getting that in every country pretty much. It's like the White Hats are in control, but because of the nature of the situation, there has to be lockdowns, and they need to use their advantage. And there's only a few ways they can really do it. You can't really say this is all a farce. We're just going to go and arrest these people. You can't do that. So they have to keep it,
especially in another country. Like it would look really bad.
Yes.
You can't go into another country and round up their head people. I mean, even though that's happened in the background, apparently that happened 2 years ago. These people that word capitulated 2 years ago, apparently. So this whole thing's been planned out, and they're slowly taking these people. And they're replacing them, and they're using the lockdowns to cover it up, the mask wearing, at least in North America, and in UK and various other places with the masks, they can easily get the doubles happening. I know it sounds nuts, but when you really look up, right? When you look up close, though, it's truly happening, right? It's like you can't even fathom this could be possible, but.
No, it's true.
Like that whole inauguration, they've pointed out so many falsehoods about it. Nothing was real. Even the people that were dressed in army uniforms, supposed to be officially sort of escorting people to their seats and whatever, like when you watch the film of it, right? It's a movie, really. They have no decoration on their uniforms.
Right.
So they're generally in the shape of army uniforms, but they're not decorated in any way. That's unheard of. That doesn't even ever happen. So everything was fake.
Yeah, it's definitely looking that way. I've noticed a few things. I mean, I noticed the Bible thing straight away. I was like, why is this Bible so big? And it looked like it looked like it was a witch's Bible, spell book or something.
A spell book.
Yeah.
A spell book.
And then
it looked like it was right out of a movie.
Yeah, and then Kamala had a purse in between and it was a smaller Bible. I was like, why would they have two? Why don't they just have one?
That was so weird. They wanted you to notice that. My honest opinion is the White Hats were in charge of that whole thing.
Yeah, it makes it. I would agree. I mean, I know it's painful. Because
why do you think they keep saying enjoy the show?
Yeah.
Right. They keep saying that. That's a big saying.
I know it's painful for people, because everybody was expecting the 20th to be the turnaround, but from where I'm sitting and from what I know now, it kind of has to play out this way. It can't be any other way, because people are too asleep. You just look outside and there's people with 9 out of 10 people are wearing masks or more, and these are the people that you need to wake up but we're the crazy ones. So
Oh yeah.
Let's look at the premier of my state and see what his deal is. I mean, he could very well be someone who's just playing the white hat game, and being, because some people that everybody's an actor in some way, right? So everybody, you don't know where they're at, what their dealings are in the past.
Okay, right off the bat. So he knows what's going on, obviously. He's in a lot of conflict. He's been on both sides of the fence.
Okay.
He's really stressed out right now. He's in a lot of personal stress. Oh my goodness, everything's just stress and strife. This guy could have a heart attack if he doesn't watch it.
I kind of got that from his photos and watching him on TV. Yeah, it looks very stressed out.
Oh my goodness, yeah. He also is facing down the road, and he knows he'll be taken away and facing some kind of judgment. He's like got 1 foot in the dark side and 1 foot out of it. So he's been on both sides, and he's right now knowing that he's headed for, accounting for some of the stuff he's been up to.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, and he's already arranged to make deals. So he's trying to kind of dig himself out of a hole, as it were. But it's very stressful. He's like our prime minister is doing the same thing, Trudeau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Good luck with that, exactly.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure and a really great insight.
Yeah, and keep in mind, if anything crazy happens, I'll just come on again.
Yeah, we could maybe do an update in a week or two and see.
Sure.
What
Sounds
happens
good.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure, Janine.
Yeah. Me and Turtle say goodbye.
See you, Turtle.
Bye.
Take care. See you later.